Hi, I'm Warren. Welcome back to this introduction to Power Query. Okay, our data is looking good. What we now need to do is we need to join the salespeople to this data set to know which salesperson handled which transaction. So if we go look at our salesperson CSV file that we imported, you can see here there is some formatting we need to do. You can see Mark has got 2 capital letters there, which doesn't look great. So we have our transaction ID here, and we have the salesperson name. So if we highlight this, again, we can right click, we can go through to transform, and we can go capitalize each word. And you can see it fixed up that issue with the spelling of Mark. So that's added a step. We want to go back to our combined data, and we want to link our transaction ID from our combined data to our transaction ID here. Although it's called column 1, we know that this is the ID of the transaction. So how we can do that? We can go to the Home tab on the ribbon, and we know that appending is where we combine months underneath each other. We want to merge. So we want to merge query as new. Here it's bringing up the first table. If both columns were named transaction ID, it would automatically have added the data below and highlighted the common named field. I left it like this to show you how to actually go and add a table. So we can choose our second table here. We want to add salespeople CSV. If this had been named the same as that, it would automatically highlight the two. But we want to take this column and we want to join it on this column. So you highlight the two columns you want to do the join on. We can leave this as the default because we know that the data is fine, and we can click on OK. So here we've now got a merge one table that if we go look at the end, it's got this weird table inside every line item, which is not what we wanted, right? If we go and click on one of these, so let's just click on that one there, you can see that's created a little table there with the ID of 1 saying Mark. So it's created a new step here. We can just delete that step. So if ever you want to kind of problem solve, you can click on these little links that it gives you. You can see number 7 is Greg. Just be aware it creates a step and you need to go and delete that step. So all it's doing, it's gone and it's joined everything, but it's created each line item as a little individual table. So normally when you see this, you'll see in the top corner here, it'll give you an option of expanding this column. So if we click on that, we want to expand or aggregate, we want to expand it, and I'll leave both columns in to show you what happens. We just click on OK, and all that's done, it's kept the original table name, salespeople CSV, column 1, salespeople CSV, column 2, and it's put the salesperson in there. And you can see the ID is 1 all the way through to 13, which matches the ID here. So those two ID columns would be identical. So now we have our salesperson here. So we probably wouldn't want to call it that name. We'll just call it salesperson. You can check the other names here. Are we happy with those? It's always a good practice to go through and check your data types and the name. Are these the names of the columns that you want to show in your final report? Quantity, price, product category, we're going to remove. These we're going to remove. Surname, name, title, full name, happy with that. We've got year, month, year, month, total sales. We have our two buckets, we have our product category and that. So now we can go and remove the columns we no longer need. We don't need the ID here. So let me go back to the beginning. We're going to leave the transaction ID in so we can always reconcile which record comes from what data set. We're going to leave the date, the quantity, and the price. Product category ID we don't need. I'm holding down Control by the way. We don't need all this original customer name info. We'll leave the surname, first name and title in their own fields. We'll keep the full name in case we need that for any kind of report. We can take date copy and highlight them by holding down Control and clicking on them. Total sale, I don't think we need both sales buckets. That was just for example. We need the category and we need the salesperson. So I've highlighted all of them. You just right click on one of them and go remove. If you want to highlight the columns you want to keep and remove the other columns, you can choose remove other columns. That would remove everything that isn't selected, but we've highlighted the ones we want to remove, so we click on that. And there we have a very, very nice clean data set with all of our information in. So now we've done quite a lot of work. I'm going to rename this table to sales because it's our combined sales table. And now to see it, we can just click here, close and load. And let's see what happens. You can see it's gone through, it's done all the steps, and it's busy loading our sales data. And there we have our final table. So again, we probably wouldn't want all of these in our final sheet. We're going to use this table to run all of our graphs off. So what we can actually do is we can go and we can delete all of these other tabs. We don't need them anymore. So sales Feb, combined data, sales Jan, and sheet 1. I'm going to go and delete. I'm keeping only our final sales table. And here you can see it's saying connection only. It's no longer got a worksheet here. And if you want to go back into edit, you can edit. If you want to refresh your data, you can click on refresh and it goes and it runs all the steps. And there we have a nice clean formatted data here. I did keep this customer field, which we probably don't need. So let me go back into edit. This was the one with the typos that we didn't really need. So I'm just going to go remove. Is there anything else we needed to remove? Everything else looked fine. We can close and load and you can see it'll refresh and it will take out that column. It's no longer there. So there we can see a nice clean data set with all of the information we need for our reporting. So one of the other requirements was to create a summarized table. So what I will do in the next video, I'll show you how to create a summarized version of this data set, but we'll touch on that in the next video. Thank you very much.